Jennings and Monte Ellis get set. Carmelo Anthony. A few moments of introspection for him prior to the opening tip, as the Knicks try and bounce back from a loss last night in Chicago. Here's a look at the starting lineups. The Knicks with 14 different starting lineups this year. Davis and Shumpert in the backcourt, Fields, Anthony, and Chandler up front. Ellis and Jennings in the backcourt for Milwaukee with their 17th different starting lineup this year. Delfino, Ilyasova, and Drew Gooden playing center. It's the fourth meeting of the season between New York and Milwaukee. Should Milwaukee win, they would get the tiebreaker advantage over the Knicks. It's going to be interesting, Doris, in the opening moments of this game, how much energy is going to be in the building and how much energy the New York Knicks are going to have after playing last night.
Was Monte Ellis blowing a kiss at you?
I'm not sure.
That's the interesting thing to me to start this one.
I think it was family courtside. Monte Ellis recently acquired at the trade deadline. Still literally living out of a suitcase as we are underway. Of course, this whole season has been one big suitcase for all 30 NBA teams. Shumpert. There's Davis on the wing. Carmelo's been getting off to some great starts and does again, knocking down his first one.
Carlos Delfino draws the matchup, and obviously you want to be there on the catch with Melo. You'd like to crowd him a little bit, make him use the bounce out on the offensive end.
There's Monte Ellis driving by Shumpert. Shumpert, a pretty good defender, but a better move. Monte Ellis trying to bounce back from just a 2 for 14 performance in his last game.
One thing to keep an eye on if you're a Knicks fan, Baron Davis took a fall last night, and Coach Woodson, nice little drive there. Coach Woodson talked about Baron being a little bit uncertain. He's got a sore neck, a little bit of soreness in other spots of his body. The fall didn't look that bad, and he told him he was fine at the shoot-around, but we'll watch it early.
He's a guy that missed 10 months of action because of a herniated disc in his back. Anthony with the rebound off the Delfino miss. Knicks leading by 2. Chandler rolling to the bucket and gets it to go.
Pretty pass, and that's something Mike Woodson talked about. Carmelo Anthony's ability as a playmaker, a passer. Pretty good pass down the lane there.
Jennings out to Monte Ellis, wide open from downtown, and he knocks it down. Ellis, a 30% three-point shooter, and a turnover by the Knicks.
Yeah, this is something that the Milwaukee staff talked about. The Knicks are 29th in the league in turnovers. They are not great with the ball. They're going to push up, try to pressure. They'd love to see that turnover number for New York in the high teens or low 20s.
Ellis feeling good early, misses badly on that attempt. Here come the New York Knicks. This game, the last game of a 5-game homestand for the Bucks. Fields launching. This is the team that even though Mike D'Antoni is gone, still likes to shoot the 3-ball, Doris.
Well, you know, Coach Woodson hasn't had a chance to put his system in, that's for sure. He's only got about 10 to 15%. There's the 3-ball. The one guy, Brandon Jennings, who's really lit New York up on a couple of occasions.
And that first meeting went for over 30 against the Knicks. Milwaukee with a 2-point lead just underway here in the first quarter. The Bucks trailing the Knicks by a game in the standings as Tyson Chandler gets an and one.
So the best thing you've seen from the Knicks so far, the ball's moving and different guys are scoring. Last night, a lot of ball stopping, a lot of Melo watching. Nice job by Tyson Chandler as the backside of that defense clears. Good isolation play. But Fields has made a shot. They've talked an awful lot about the ball stopping and it becoming Melo ball.
Well, that's what happened last night in the second period, in particular against the Bulls. As New York takes the lead, Tyson Chandler active offensively. He's got 5 already. Ellis, little hesitation, spin move. Boy, big degree of difficulty, Doris, but he makes those, doesn't he?
I'll tell you, he's a legit proven scorer.
He's got 4. Chandler up top off the alley-oop. And Tyson Chandler with a quick 7 points.
Yeah, and Landry Fields, he does that incredibly well. He gets himself up the floor, and that's the guy that gets them started very often. Early offensive opportunities, nice little find.
Here's Drew Gooden with the short jumper. Ilyasova blocks out by Melo. Missed the layup. And New York is going to have numbers coming back the other way. Shumpert. Nice feed inside. Baron Davis with the layup. Mike Woodson watching his team lead by 3 in the early going here.
Just watch Baron Davis. Looked like he grimaced, and he continues to grimace here.
He's had back and hamstring issues, and there's a bucket on the foul by Carlos Delfino. Davis didn't play his first game this year until February the 20th because of back and hamstring injuries.
Good solid drive by Delfino, and rotation a little bit late by Tyson.
Delfino brought to Milwaukee by John Hammond, who was the former personnel guy with the Detroit Pistons when he had Delfino there. Comes up short. Milwaukee down by 1. Woodson did say that managing Davis's minutes were going to be crucial. Without Jeremy Lin for the rest of the season, or at least until the playoffs begin, if they make it that far. Bad pass out of bounds, and New York turns it over. If you're Scott Skiles, though, how are you feeling about this beginning?
Well, I think obviously, you know, he talked a little bit about pushing up, getting pressure, and the most important thing he said was playing with energy. We talked to Brandon Jennings. He said, well, when I do not come out with energy, we don't play well. I don't think we've seen the best of Brandon Jennings yet.
Ball out of bounds. It'll be New York basketball. Scott Skiles has shortened his rotation, as some coaches tend to do down the stretch.
They've not been good defensively, so I don't think the Knicks start shooting the basketball has necessarily surprised them. It's what a change from a year ago, where they ground you to a halt on the defensive end and struggled to score it. Now they have had the opposite problem this year.
Jennings with the three-point launch and a quick run-out by Landry Fields. He'll get an easy one at the other end.
No day. There's struggles. And again, it's Landry Fields. He does that so often. He does just such a great job of pushing up the floor and making plays.
Jennings kicks it back out to Delfino. Ilyasova keeps it alive. He throws it away. So he taketh and then giveth away. And that's the first turnover for the Milwaukee Bucks tonight. Davis out top for the Knicks.
He's been pretty good, and we talked a little bit about him being at the 4 spot because of the absence of Amari Stoudemire. And listen, he's got a post-up game anyway. You're trying to make his catches as tough as possible, but he's got great strength, and he's also got 2 inches. So he goes right down to the rim and gets a close opportunity. He's 2 for 2.
See what the Bucks run out of this timeout. Ellis trapped by Chandler. Loses control. Shumpert, they've got numbers. In on Delfino and 1. Iman Shumpert. And it all started with maybe the defensive player of the year, Tyson Chandler.
He's made a case for himself. There's no question about it. Serge Ibaka, LeBron James, but this is what he does. You know, the effort plays, making sure you're sort of mixing it up. Then Shumpert gets a nice easy deuce. Now look at this. I mean, think about the game on Sunday at Madison Square Garden, and it was effort plays. How many times late in that ball game Tyson Chandler saved the basketball game by his willingness to do those tip outs, keeping possessions alive and giving Melo an opportunity to win that basketball game.
Saw Blinken coming up court. It looked like he might have taken a little shot to the face or hit in the eye. New York, meanwhile, has hit its last 6 shots in a row. Ellis to Jennings. The floater off glass is good by Brandon Jennings. Let's see if we get a little bit more of that energy we talked about early in the game. This is a notoriously slow-starting Milwaukee team. Against Oklahoma City in their last game a couple of nights ago, they fell down by 21 points, Doris, in the first quarter. That's going to be an offensive foul against the Knicks.
And Milwaukee, despite giving up a high percentage to the Knicks, are still attached to this ball game. Ellis keeps his dribble alive, a la Steve Nash. It allows Brandon Jennings to make a cut to the rim and the ball. Those 2 guys will put some pressure on you with their ability to score. And New York switching an awful lot.
Like Dunleavy in the ball game, missing his first shot. Dunleavy, the guy that provides a lot of points off the bench for Scott Skiles and the Bucks. Davis out top. Working against Jennings all the way to the bucket. Baron Davis, a former All-Star who turns 33 next Friday. And New York now has made 7 field goals in a row. Jennings trying to get a little get back, couldn't. And it's going to come back the other way to the Knicks.
7 field goals in a row, and their points in the paint. What do they have? 3 points. 3 of their points only are coming from outside the painted area. It's crazy.
Well, New York 10 of 11 from the field. And Anthony turns it over. Milwaukee with numbers. Jennings finishing the 2-on-1.
Their turnovers have been an issue. I mean, they're 29th in the league, and when you, depending on where you turn it over, you give up opportunities like that.
Davis inside to Fields in that porous Milwaukee defense continuing. Ellis fires quickly. Bucks with a rebound. Udo, meanwhile, is checked into the game as well. Jumper no good by Abute. Fields with a hesitation. Dunleavy couldn't get the handle off the pass from Brandon Jennings. Well, folks, let's take a look at the NBA television big board. A full slate of games across the NBA networks. TNT on Thursday has Miami at Chicago, followed by Dallas and Golden State on Sunday. It's Miami, New York, Dallas, Lakers. Then NBA TV Monday has Philadelphia, Orlando, Oklahoma City at the Clippers.
Well, how about the Boston Celtics on the road at Miami?
Huge win for them. And since the All-Star break, they are a totally different team. 18 wins since the break, more than anybody in the league. Surprising that Milwaukee is this lethargic this early in the ballgame. And such a huge game.
How about the crowd? There's very little energy. This is, for all intents and purposes, a playoff game, because this is a 2-game swing in that race for the playoffs.
New York. Folks, listen to this. They're 13 of 15 from the field, about to be 14 of quarter.
Now give it 48.
His worst nightmare coming true right now. A foul on the play. A 17-4 run for the Knicks, and Milwaukee has given up 47 30-point quarters. And you can make it 48. So, there we go. Up to the second, trailing only Sacramento and Minnesota in this dubious category, Doris.
Yeah, and a season ago they were, a grinded-out defensive team. And watch the passing. I mean, Baron Davis on the first pass covers an awful lot of area. And who, surprise, surprise, Landry Fields pushing ahead of the rest of the pack.
Jennings on the drive-by, tough shot, and got it to fall. Brandon Jennings. He was just 6 of 22 in the last game against New York, a 9-point loss at the Garden. Carmelo Anthony isolated, cross-court pass. Shumpert missing. Mute with the rebound. Beno Udrich with the ball. Nice feed to Udo.